my name is Ali and welcome to my channel. We are back with Hakuoki Kyoto wins Okita's route. I do apologize, I've said in my other videos, my allergies have been terrible since I've been to my parents' house, which they have cats, which I'm highly allergic to. So, yeah. Anyway. Huh? Chizuru? Okita looked up from cleaning his sword as I entered the hall. Weren't you at Nijo Castle? What are you doing here? What are you doing here alone? Well, oh, I know. You get in trouble? I bet Hijikata sent you back here, huh? Yeah, something like that. You know, when you respond with such a pouty face like that, it's no fun for me to poke all my fun at you. All right, you better tell me what happened. Well, still feeling upset, I told Okita about the incident that unfolded in Nijo Castle. The minute I mentioned Kazuma's name, Okita's eyes lit up. I see. Chikage Kazuma. He was there, huh? If only I'd known they were going to show up. No way Kondo could have kept me here. What? Of course he could have. No, you're sick. Hijitata. Hakuna Matata. Anyway, you're sick. Hijikata told you to rest. Sounds like I am too. Oh, shut up, will you? It's your fault. The medicine you gave me totally doesn't work. Oh. Okita? For just a moment, all colors but one faded away. I forgot about demons and castles upon seeing one thing, the sickly red splatter across Okita's hand and mouth. Oh my god, my poor boy. Are you okay? I'll go get someone. Hey, Sake! No. Wait, no. His voice was rough and strained, but filled with unexpected rage. He wiped the blood from his mouth and glared at me over the top of his hand. From under his bangs, his eyes burning with anger, nailed me to the floor. Forget about what you just saw. It's nothing. Just hurt my throat. Back when I was in Edo, I was helping my father out in his clinic. There were a few times when I'd see patients who caught up blood from coughing too much. But what I just saw was something else. Okita? Did you not hear me just now? I told you to forget about it. He was so adamant about me not helping him, so it was different to know how to react. What could I tell him? We are going to say, but, I believe. No, sorry, I won't tell anyone. It's weird because like a couple of answers ago there was a but, so now there's no but. Okay, anyway, we're going to put I won't tell anyone. I won't tell anyone. But please, for me, get some rest today. Please. Butterfly. Thank you. Besides, probably couldn't make it to Nijo. Besides, probably couldn't make it to eat Nijo in time anyway. Ugh, seriously bad timing. He grumbled and complained like a child, but before long I'd convinced him to lay down and rest. The words of the men who claimed to be demons lingered in my heart. There were so many things for me to be worried about. However, more than any of that, I was just worried about the man sick in front of me. I continued to eye Okita, who slept with his back faced towards me, as I watched the dawn slowly emerge through the long, cold night. Since then, once the rest of the men returned, there was a meeting among the captains. The subject of the meeting was the three men at Nijo Castle, Chikage Kazuma, Kyuju Amagiri, and Kyo Shiranui. They called themselves demons, and their previous encounters with the Shinsengumi suggested they were somehow involved with the Satsuma and Choshu. The Satsuma were the most powerful domain in the opposition domain, and the Choshu were publicly expressive of their dissent towards the shogunate. The Choshu are essentially enemies of the court. I don't know how the three men are supposedly affiliated with the domains, but it was abundantly clear they are not to be dealt with carelessly. There was another problem, however. Why had they come for me? They said I was one of them and knew about my family name Maikodachi. But how? And this pops up. My name is Chizuru Yukimura. I am the daughter of my father and my mother. I am a normal girl, nothing out of the ordinary. But who am I? And we fade away. Slowly. Oh my god. I swear we got that toilet fixed. Now it's doing it again. What the heck? Maintenance person came and everything. Sorry if this is triggering me so much because he actually came in, fixed it, and it hasn't been doing this damn thing for a few weeks. No, not even a few weeks, just like a week or two. And now it's like, I'm going to start making noise again. Anyway, June 1864. The compound was alive with noise and movement. I passed several soldiers in the halls, each one of them excited about something. What was going on? This is what's the word? Whatever that word is. I'm going to say unexcusable because I don't know what the fuck that word is. Never in all my... Ito? Is something wrong? Yes, I'd say everything is wrong. Why should I be made to bare my skin in the same room as those savages? Ito's explanation was useless. I was completely confused. Is there something going on today? Ito did his best to collect himself shakily, adjusting his hair and clothes before he spoke. Someone claiming to be a doctor from Kondo, whom Kondo met on his visit to the Shogun, has arrived. He is conducting physical examinations. Oh my god, how terrible. With a disdainful sniff, he glared pointedly across the hall towards the area he'd just left. Are you gay or something? The men were getting physical checkups. That much I knew, given my particular situation. I'd been exempt by the captains, who also gave me special instructions to stay away. That hairless monster! That doctor. He demanded I remove my clothes in front of everyone. When I refused, as any decent man would, he tried to remove them himself, by force. Oh my god, this guy's crazy. And the rest of them just stood there. What sort of uncultured savages are they? Savages seem to be a bit much. At any rate, perhaps I should go see what a physical entailed. I was a doctor's daughter after all. What's the doctor's name? I believe he called himself Ryojun Matsumoto. What? This pops up again. Wait, Dr. Matsumoto? What? What's up with your reaction? Do you know him? When I first came to Kyoto, my plan was to find Dr. Matsumoto. My father told me that I could rely on the man if I ever needed anything. Unfortunately, he was away on business when I had arrived, and after that, I'm going to go watch the physical exams. Girl, that sounds bad. That sounds dirty. There's no time to waste. Oh my, so you want to see those savages? What peculiar taste. Yeah, I'm a girl, even though you don't know it. Is this it? I could hear loud voices from inside. Is this going to be the best picture ever? Oh. The scene froze me in place. All right, next. I love this picture. I think it's hilarious. At last, my turn. Check this out, doctor. Look at my pecs. What do you think? You're looking at the amazing product of years of training. Oh god, this guy's weird. Your body's fine, Shin. I think it's your head that doctor ought to be taking a look at. What's that? You say you want me to beat the daylights out of you? You're fine, Shinpachi Nagakura. Now get. Next. I love how he's like, get away, go, shoot. Whoa, hold on there, Doc. You gotta get a good look at this. No, you're quite fine. Healthy as a horse, and I've seen quite enough. Thank you. You're holding up the line, Shinpachi. Get moving, okay? I'm just saying.
I don't really think you've had the time to fully examine.
Dude, what's with you?
Don't you want to order a slice of this beefcake? I got 2 meaty servings on a plate right here.
Oh my god, this guy is so weird. I love Saito's face, though. Saito's like, oh my god. A medical examination a medical examination is for finding problems, not showing off. Now move. Saito's face is the best. It reminds me of a rabbit. I've had rabbits that literally gave that look. I used to have pet rabbits, and they just had the look of, what the fuck's wrong with you? You know? It wasn't difficult to see why Ito was desperate to escape. I couldn't imagine him as part of such a display. What should I do? I feel like it's rude to intrude. My stomach's growling. I'm hungry.
Yukimura, what are you doing here? Is something the matter?
Oh, Yamazaki, hello. I heard that Dr. Matsumoto is here. Yamazaki didn't look like he was in the mood to tolerate my snooping, so he went to the point.
I see.
I take it you aim to speak with him, huh?
I have been briefed on everything regarding your situation.
I think I know what you're doing. God, my heart still hurts for my Yamazaki boy. I'm glad he's an option we can date. I would love to see his route. My God. I'm like, talking weird today. However, the physicals are taking some time. Will you leave this to me? What should I do? We are going to say, yes, please. Are you sure? Then, yes, please do so.
Got it. Please excuse me.
Yamazaki went over to Dr. Matsumoto.
Pardon me, Dr. Matsumoto. Please allow me to look after those whose symptoms are minor. Why not take a little break? I'll take you up on your offer.
I waited outside for Dr. Matsumoto until he stepped out of the examination room. Excuse me.
Yes?
He looked at me for a moment, his eyes narrowed in curiosity.
I need to fetch some more medicine, so maybe it's a good time for a break. Can you give me a hand?
Oh, yes, of course. My nose is itchy. What luck. I think he sensed he knew who you were.
Sorry, I had to get a drink.
Dr. Matsumoto?
Ah, Doctor. Hello, Yukimura.
Oh, hi, Kondo.
I see you found her already. Yes, thanks to you.
What? I was utterly lost. Dr. Matsumoto laid a gentle hand on my shoulder.
Chizuru, I came here to see you. Kondo told me that Koto's daughter was staying with the Shinsengumi.
Oh, I see.
I knew Koto and Matsumoto were acquaintances, so I thought perhaps Matsumoto might be able to give us a clue as to his friend's whereabouts. I looked him up as soon as he returned to Kyoto.
The Shinsengumi had their own reasons for waiting for my father. Wanting for my father found. But Dr. Matsumoto's appearance was still cause for joy. Thank you, both of you. They smiled. Dr. Matsumoto then explained that he had just barely missed me when he left for Edo, as I came to Kyoto. He'd received all my letters, but once he finally returned, he had no idea where I was, and consequently couldn't find me. I'm sorry I missed you. You must have had a rough time of it. Is there anything you need? No, I'm doing all right. So, Dr. Matsumoto, about my father. His face looked on a grim cast, and before he even spoke, I knew what his response would be. Unfortunately, I know no more about where Koto might be than you do. I see. The defeated tone in my voice surprised me. I suppose on some level, I believe Dr. Matsumoto had some miraculous revelation about my father. Foolish of me, of course, but that didn't make the truth any less devastating. Kondo simply nodded. I hear you've become involved with the treatment. You know what I mean, don't you? Koto's experiments. Yes, I knew what he meant. The experiments my father conducted with some strange concoction that could make people go mad. Please tell me about it. I want to know everything my father was doing. He nodded. Kyoto was working with the Shinsengumi under orders of the shogun to create what were called Furies. Furies are humans with nigh demonic strength and speed, and phenomenal healing abilities. Furies. This term seemed so familiar, then I realized I'd overheard some of the men talking about it.
Don't jinx him, Soji. It's gonna look bad if officers start joining the Furies.
Oh, so Furies come from something you drink where any injuries could be cured. The Furies that Heisuke spoke about are men to be pitied. The substance that transforms normal men into these Furies is called the water of life. In China, they call it senten. In short, it grants immortality. Furies? Water of life. It sounded more like something from a fairy tale rather than real life. But there was something in Dr. Matsumoto's tone of voice that said he was telling the truth. I've already heard about how it makes you strong and hard to kill. But doesn't it cause so much pain that it makes most people go crazy? And even if you survive that, then even the smell of blood can make you go crazy again. Dr. Matsumoto nodded slowly, then pinched the bridge of his nose with thumb and forefingers. He looked very tired. So you know about that too? Yes. Ugh, that still gives me creeps looking at that. Ugh. They were human, but not human. Perhaps they were almost entirely different now. I couldn't see how this water of life could ever be used for good, even if it had healed Sanan's arm. He'd suffered greatly in the process. Why? It sounded more like a moan than a question. My father would never want to ruin the life of another, but because of what he'd done, people suffered, and some even died. Why was my father doing this? But it wasn't just my father. I was sure no one involved expected such a terrible outcome. Perhaps this is why Kyoto left. His conscience would no longer allow him to continue.
But the water of life was an opportunity given to us by the shogun to help strengthen the Shinsengumi.
The doctor only shook his head. It was an experiment, and it has failed. You should put it behind you. I'm sure the shogunate has abandoned it as well. Kondo frowned, perhaps unhappy that Dr. Matsumoto would question the shogunate's original decision. You've seen what happened to the men. It was tested on Kondo. It cannot be allowed to continue. This experiment is inhumane, and you know it. Kondo gave a non-committal grunt and fell silent. I was sure Kondo knew just how dangerous it was to use the water of life, but the shogunate had come to him with a request. Perhaps he couldn't refuse, even if he wanted to. Silence fell like a thick blanket. I understand that you are the shogunate's designated doctor, but you are not one of us. An outsider has no right to object. Sanan? His face was pale as moonlight, as if he was a walking corpse. Is it okay for you to be up right now?
Shouldn't you be resting, Sanan? You look pale.
Don't worry about me.
He bowed quickly, his mouth a compressed line, and turned to regard the doctor with a cold gaze.
We use this treatment effectively, and at our own discretion.
It's dangerous and far too strong.
We have continued Koto's research. I am, as you can see, living proof, so to speak.
As Sanan did indeed prove it was possible to drink water of life and retain your sanity. It just wasn't easy. Perhaps you're right. But that could also mean that you're forcing your body in ways the eyes can't see.
I'm perfectly healthy. I respectively disagree. With continued research and modification, we will have many more successes and fewer casualties.
Do you plan on sacrificing more of your men in order to have more successes? Using your men to experiment with things that put them in danger
comes off as a disregard of life for life. It's a disgrace.
The men who gave their lives are the foundation of our work. They did not die in vain. But
All right, that's enough, both of you. Why don't we discuss this some other time?
It was my private opinion that they were unlikely to agree, no matter what time they discussed the subject, but I felt it was polite to keep quiet.
Very well.
There seemed to be very little common ground between them, but both arguments had merit. Kondo had likely seen this as well, and he chose to end things before it got unpleasant. I'm going to let you guys go here. I hope you are enjoying, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!